Hello, this is Nitin Dahad with the Times. I'm talking to Sam Geha, who's the EVP for IoT, Compute and Wireless at Infineon Technologies. Sam, hello, how are you?
Hi, Nitin. Great to talk to you again.
We tend to speak regularly, so
That's right.
we're getting to know each other. But let's see. We're going to talk today about PSOC Edge, and then on that Edge AI, and then the security. But let's talk a little bit about PSOC Edge. You launched that in October 2025.
Yes.
And how's it done since then? Could you share some insights and so any notable early successes?
Yeah. So first of all, this is a super exciting topic for me and for Infineon. We've invested very heavily into getting into this area, the Edge AI area. We're a big believer in it. It serves the smart home market. It serves the medical market. It serves some of the industrial markets. So we're really excited about the opportunities with it. Having said that, we're starting to see many customers that are trying to solve different problems with it. And for me, it's all about the customers trying to make their products more reliable and better. For example, you and I are on the 29th floor here at the Venetian, and as you go down the elevator, you're feeling the vibration of that elevator, and you're like, I wonder if it's safe or not. So we're working with companies like that to what they're doing. It's the PSOC Edge. You're analyzing the data, the vibration data of the elevator, and you're like, okay, maybe it is due for maintenance as opposed to some scheduled maintenance. So this predictive maintenance is one of the features.
And the model doesn't have to be big on that really to do that.
No, this is simple enough, and this is the advantage of being at the edge. You don't want to send data to the cloud and have it analyzed and come back down. I mean,
and it's already fallen by then.
Exactly. So that's one example. Other examples, we're working with customers, let's say home appliance guys. They're looking like, how do they make the consumer's life easier? So for example, you just want to, let's say many people probably can relate to this. You put your clothes in the dryer and you're like, sometimes you have to go back. It's like, oh, they're still wet. I have to go again. Well, we're working with customers like that where they have tons of data on drying time. And so you put your clothes, you have sensors in the dryer and said, okay, depending on how wet the clothes are and what's the size of the load, it tells you how long exactly you should be drying the clothes.
Yeah, moisture sensor.
Exactly.
Intelligent moisture sensor.
Yeah, exactly. Or you just want to be able to walk up to your washer and say, hey, can you wash my clothes? And it will do the right combination. It'll know, what to do there. Those are a couple examples. I mean, we're working with other different companies and different examples on that. Medical guys, you're looking at let's say the health fitness area. I mean, that's an area where it started with like, okay, I can track your number of steps. Now it's like, oh, maybe I can check your heart rate. Now it's like, okay, maybe I'm going to take that data and based on the signals of your heart rate, I'm going to tell you whether maybe you should stop running or stop walking, and you should just consult the doctor, etc. Right? So it's analyzing.
We'll see more of those, I think, won't we?
Absolutely, and this is a perfect area for us because the big advantage of PSOC Edge is it is low power, and I know we didn't discuss the big advantage technically, but what we're doing is the original solutions for Edge AI started with like an MPU. MPU burns a lot of power and it's very expensive. The board for an MPU, let's say it's at roughly $20 board because you have to add memory, you have to add analog, you have to add all these things to it. And we're trying to replace that with a much lower cost and lower power MCU. And lower power is a big deal. We're talking about hundreds of factors lower power than the MPU. And we're talking about how do I make the system cost cheaper and better. So like I said, what I'm seeing is an explosion of applications and customer engagements.
I'm sure we'll see a lot more. That's early successes. Now, how does a customer actually get started with PSOC Edge? What's the process for a developer to engage? I mean, you're talking all the way from initial discovery to full production deployment, but I'm sure you have a good answer.
So this has been actually my probably most exciting area where we are improving and we're trying to make it better. So the simplest way is you go to infineon.com/PSOC Edge. And when you do that, or you can put /my MCUs, and then you have to search for PSOC Edge. But if you just do /PSOC Edge, it'll take you there. And what I've worked with my team on is to do what I call the developer's journey. Because it starts with, okay, you go to PSOC Edge, it's like at least you know which one of the, you see a family of MCUs, and it's going to help you pick which MCU to pick. And then when you do that, it says, okay, if you're going to pick this MCU, why don't you pick these development kits? We have different development kits for AI and for non-AI, for regular. And when you do that, then it's going to say, okay, now you can, if you want a quick test or demo, you can actually take you to what we call a live lab. We have an actual live lab connection where you can do a quick demo without even buying anything. You're still testing, hey, is this thing interesting for me? Is it going to help me solve a problem? And they can do that without paying anything. This is just to test it out.
That's the beauty of what we can do now, which you couldn't do before.
And then the next step after that is like, okay, buy the kit, because the whole point for me is like, if I'm trying to solve a problem, I want to solve it now. I want a kit that works. So I can start working on this, the solution in parallel while I order the kit. And by the time the kit comes, then it follows the various steps. Like, hey, download the software. So we have, Modus Toolbox software. We have DEEPCRAFT Studio. So depending if you have your own models, if you want us to make the models for you, or you want somebody to make the models for you, or you want to do one of these free models that you can download on the internet. So we're able to support all these three, and then it gives you these options, and then walks you through the rest of the journey, and how to buy the die eventually. So for me, it's not a software sell or a hardware sell. It's a solution sell.
And a journey.
And it's a journey.
But
and to me, this is what we have to help the customer solve, because you don't want every company to have to hire AI experts and AI engineers to solve these straightforward problems. So,
and very quickly, I mean, you talked about that whole guide, and you go onto the website. But specifically, have you seen any specific challenges customers have when they start using Infineon development kits? Or, I mean, what are the common questions? I mean, very briefly.
So I would say our customers are split into two categories. The large customers that have tons of software engineers, they actually don't want a lot of our help. They just want to say, give me the hardware, just show me a little bit how to go, and then they have their software people that can make their models. And generally, the models those guys have are super expensive models. I mean, they spend millions of dollars optimizing these models, and they don't want to share these models with anybody, so they want to protect these models. Now, you have the general population, which we're really trying to go after and support. And those are the guys that we're still trying to learning how to make their life easier, how to say, okay, for these models, we're actually working with different companies that have already developed models. Like, hey, if you want to use this, maybe use these guys' model. It's already optimized, for like medical application. Let's say defib, let's say you want to do that. Okay, well, we already have these models optimized for a company. Maybe you can just use them to try and simplify.
And possibly tweak them as well.
I mean, open source, there's a lot of open source, and you can take it and tweak it and make it your own. So that's why we believe we can add a lot of value.
All right. Let's go into, as in my role, I see so many competitors in this area. And with numerous competitors in this ML and AI space, what are a couple of key differentiators that Infineon stands out with?
Yeah, so look, we're not going to be the only one over time to do this. So for me, I'm going to separate first the competitors. First, I believe there's a big differentiation advantage for MCUs over MPUs. As I told you, it's in cost and power. And don't underestimate that, because the biggest applications here are, to me, the biggest thing about PSOC Edge is also the human-machine interface. So voice commands. You actually want to go to sleeping devices and then wake them up and things like that. That's one of the advantages. Or vision, right? You want to do that at low power. And that's something we offer, and we are optimizing. And the differentiation sometimes is in the customer service. Are we able to provide our customer a better experience, easy to use experience, to actually use our tools? Okay. Another advantage is, compared to others, we believe we're a little bit ahead, and we're trying to capitalize on this, staying a little bit ahead and continue to stay a little bit ahead in time. I mean, yes, some of our competitors will catch up, but are we learning? Are we engaged with enough customers to try and grow and try to continue to optimize our models and continue to make them better? And to me, the other thing about Infineon as a company is really we are customer focused and customer driven. And here, can we really serve our customers better?
Okay.
And I've literally changed a good part of my team to focus on what we call ease of doing business, which is how do I make it easy on the customers, on the small customer, to really come to us and feel like they can self-serve in some ways. So we give them enough information to make it work. So
now I'm going to change to a very important topic, which is security. I know Infineon's got a very strong history in that area as well, but now the PSA Level 4 and CRA mandates are coming. Does PSOC Edge meet those requirements, and how does this, if it does support how is that compliant with upcoming mandates?
Yeah, so this is actually probably one of the strongest suits for us here. Our PSOC Edge is PSA Level 4 secure, which is the highest level of security a chip by itself can meet. And this is better than pretty much 99% of the chips out there. The advantage we have is we are, as Infineon, we are strong in the chip card business. And we're in the e-passports, actually. And so we have a really long history of being super strong in security. And we were able to use that and apply it to our PSOC Edge. Now, you say, why do we need PSA Level 4? Well, as I told you earlier, some of our customers spend millions of dollars making the models and optimizing their models. And the last thing they want is for somebody to steal it and download it. Yes, there's some open source models for some things, but not everything is you want to share with the world. So while they're buying a $5 chip or a $3 chip, they spend millions of dollars trying to make the models, and they want to protect that IP. And so being a PSA Level 4, it's also enable us to get into secure payments type of opportunities as well. And so I mean, it's opened up a lot of doors for us in PSOC Edge.
Now, I think final question. Obviously, you don't work in isolation. You're part of an ecosystem. We talked about the journey earlier. How do you see the flexibility of starting with, say, an NVIDIA platform for model testing and influencing customer preferences for using PSOC Edge in their final applications?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to separate what the NVIDIAs of the world are doing and really the edge application. Okay. So for me, the edge AI, it's about the instant on. It's about instant responses. So things like sensors in cars, for example, that's when you need edge AI. Things like you don't need to connect every device to the internet. You actually could save a lot of money. You don't, I mean, I do sell Wi-Fi and I want everybody to use it, but in many cases, if you have intelligence right there on the device, you don't need to necessarily connect to Wi-Fi.
But there are also dead zones in coverage as well.
Exactly. And that's another thing. If there's a dead zone, you want intelligence right there at the edge device. And that's what we're solving with our product here. So,
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
So what are the final thoughts you want to sort of leave with us, Sam?
Yeah, so for me, PSOC Edge is about three things. It's about making life better, more secure, more reliable, and more intelligent. And I do believe we're at the infancy stage of this, where our customers are still trying to figure out how do they make their products more reliable. And it's incremental improvements to all the products. And I do believe in the next few years, pretty much every device will have a lot of AI and a lot of intelligence in it. And really, this is the foundation for it. So we're super excited. We're building a family of products. We're expanding it. We're adding more capabilities. And I'm super excited about this journey.
It shows, Sam. Yeah, so Sam, thank you very much. And I wish you all the best for everything.
Thank you, Nitin.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.